days I haven't had water. Today would be the fourth day that they promised to come, and we'll find out if the water department comes. So I have to stand out in the backyard because the man who's in charge of the person that sends the people to my house says the plumber came. So I'm in my house with the music off, nothing on yesterday from 2 o'clock on, and the door was open, and it wasn't raining, and no one called out my name or knocked on the house. So I find that hard to believe. So now they're coming again after lunch. They have to send. Now, I already took this blower here, and I hooked it up to my hose bib that's at the other end of the cargo container, and I disconnected it from the water meter out in the street up the road about 100 so feet. And when I put this onto my hose bib and put tape around it, it blew the water out of the hose. So there's no blockage from my hose bib to the meter and a little beyond where there's a break where there's a union in the line. So no water's coming out of the line, and that's a good thing. So I shut off my valve in case the genius decides to run water through it with dirt in the line, because they've done that, and then you have to clean out. You have to take the toilet bowl guts apart. Living in the Philippines. So my next project is I can't find the parts to repair this muffler. So this muffler was a piece of like galvanized or stainless steel metal with a graphite asbestos around the metal. It was a shroud. And what this shroud did, where it comes out of here, was that shroud, when it was intact, was supposed to prevent this plastic guard, which it's like a bicycle chain guard, but it's for a muffler guard. It was supposed to deflect the exhaust out through here through a downspout. And the shroud is nothing more than a piece of metal between this muffler here and this plastic shroud, and it prevents it from melting. So I think with what I have here, or I have some sheet metal and I have an anvil, I think I can make a shroud that will fit on here. And as far as there being asbestos seal, graphite asbestos seal, which is like a head gasket type of material, as far as that is concerned, this is really garbage. I have high heat gasket material that if once I put it in here, the heat will dry up the material and make a gasket. So I'm not concerned about that. I need to get this back together and running. This blows 700 cubic feet of air per minute. It's been in my shop on the table for 2 years, and it's just in the way. And I've exhausted my search for this external shroud. I've exhausted it. I've gone to Shopee, I've gone to Lazada, I've gone to eBay, every website I could think. It's a 2001 blower. I don't know what model it is other than what I have written down here. And when I put these numbers into the computer, nothing pops up. So right now I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to clean with my snare drum brush, and I have a parts cleaning brush, and I have a toothbrush. I'm going to clean the dust off of here. I'm going to put it back together I'll make a piece of metal that will act as a deflector. It won't have asbestos sealing on it, but it'll work. So that's my plan. And I'm going to put this, I have all the parts. I like to keep my parts in individual trays. The big stuff that goes on last is going to go into this big pan here. The cleaning stuff is going over there first. So this is the air filter for this. That's a relatively new one. It might only be just a few years old. This is the shroud. If I remember correctly, here's another piece of metal in here, right here, where the heat is, and this deflects it from the plastic. So what I have to do is basically make something that looks like this, but not pretty like that, and put it over the muffler and between the vents. And this has been broke for years, and I used wire into the ribbing, and I just used wire to hold it together, and it's been like that probably 15 years, so it works just fine. So those are the last parts. The bag we don't need. The book in case I find a part number. This metal in case I want to build a shroud out of that stuff. Here is the exhaust. And there should have been concerned expat and I both agree there should have been a screen here, and it might be in this box over here, and it might not be in that box there. So let me put these bigger pieces in the bigger boxes. Oh, there's another problem here. That's a simple problem. Okay, the ball, the pressure. I don't care about that. I'll close that off altogether and get another one. That's easy enough to get. Okay, I don't see a screen. So either I lost the screen. It's been 2 years since I've seen this. Either I lost the screen or perhaps it's inside this can here. Put this carburetor over there. Either I lost the screen or the screen disintegrated and there wasn't enough screen left to save. There's all the screws. And I don't see a screen. Oh boy. Okay. No screen. I have to have a piece of screen somewhere. All right, let me get it cleaned up. I'll get it cleaned up first. First thing got to do. All right, I'll set this camera over here. All right. Where's the top to this? There's no top. Okay. Okay. So. Now I like to put all the systems, we call it the systems. This is the muffler system, exhaust system, and this is the part that had the graphite with the shroud that wraps around it. That's gone. There's nothing left to that. So I'll make it out of this piece of metal here. I won't use, I'll use a type of graphite gasket sealer for head gaskets, because I couldn't get any kind of gasket material, like a sheet of gasket material that I could make myself, a gasket for myself. They don't, in America, you could probably buy something like that at an automotive store, but here, no. They didn't have any gaskets big enough to make the whole shroud out of, so I gave up on that idea altogether. Okay, let's get it cleaned. This is not getting it 100% clean, but if I take 40% of the dust off the piston fins, the cooling fins, it will cool it off 40% better. This doesn't overheat anyway. And like I said, I always put more oil in the gas than is called for, so it kind of keeps it cool by doing that, just that one thing. Now I do remember this machine running good, but you couldn't get full power out of it. As soon as you gave it throttle, it dogged off. It just bogged out. And Concerned Citizen and myself, well, Concerned Citizen said it's the screen, and I looked up online, the screen between the machine motor, the gasoline exhaust, and the motor. And if that's clogged, the machine won't breathe properly. So he was right. I looked it up, and that's what it said could be a cause of it bogging out. So I'll find another something that I can use for a screen, and if I don't find one, I have drill bits down to number 60. I'll take a piece of sheet metal and drill 100 holes in a piece of metal. That will give me back pressure to some degree. I'll get it running. But even still, even if I only get 50% or 20% power out of this, it's better than this little blower. Whoa. Now by cleaning it, a couple of things happen. Number one, it breathes and cools off the way it's supposed to. Closer to 100% cooling, factory cooling settings. But while you're cleaning it also, you'll notice that if there are screws missing that fell out because of vibration, or there's a lot of pieces that have to go back into this machine, like for instance this thing. No, not that thing. Where did it go? This thing here. You look at this and say, well, where does this go? Well, it goes in the back over here. And after I cleaned it up, I saw where it goes, but I had forgot where it went. I mean, I would have figured it out. But when you're cleaning it, you also see stuff that you would have normally missed if you're putting it back together in a hurry. And I'm not in any hurry. I want to get it back together. I want to put it back together once and make it run. Now that I don't have the primer ball for this, gonna have to order some of those, or I'll go to the city and look for them. But they don't like selling you parts in the city. They don't like selling parts to fix your equipment. They want you to bring the machine in and pay them to do the repair. Even something simple like a bubble pump. Where's the air filter going? I just went up the block to talk to a friend of mine when I went to look for the water, and this guy is 72 years old. I think he's about 72, and we've been friends since he moved here in 2015, and he's up on top of the roof of his house. And I said to him, what are you doing up there? I saw him up there last week when I was coming home from the city, because I'm fixing the roof. I'm going, dude, you just built that house 5 years ago. Yeah? I says, but I've seen the roofers take the roof off and put it back on. He goes, yeah? So, the people, whoever built the house leaked like a sieve. So within a few days of him buying the house, a few weeks maybe, they had to take the whole entire roof off the house and put it, and then they sealed, it's the corrugated roof, they sealed the first seam. I think they moved it over to two wraps, like two crusts and two troughs, and they took the whole roof off and put a couple extra sheets up there, and that didn't work either. Well, it may have worked on the flat part of the roof, but where the roof met the parapet, it leaked. So they had to take the parapet flashing off for a second time, and they fixed that, and that didn't work either. The next big rain we had, it didn't work. So they were up on the roof 4 or 5 times in the first year. And then they've been up on the roof since. And this is just when I go by the house, I see them on the roof. God knows how many times they've been up there. So now he's up there, He just took all the flashing off the whole side, one whole side of the house, which doesn't mean that it's leaking on the east side of the house. It definitely doesn't mean that the east side of the house flashing is leaking. It just means it's coming in on the first floor through his bedroom on the east side of the house. So roofing is one of the simplest things in the world to do if you know how to do it, and one of the most complicated to fix if it's wrong. So it's wrong and he's doing it over. Okay, now let's find out what we got going here. Now I marked these pieces, number 2, number 1, 2, and 3. It's just so I don't have to try to remember how to put them back together. It's a good idea to mark stuff when you take it apart, so you don't have to guess to put it back together. All right, I got that. The screen is, more than anything, it's a spark arrestor. I'm going to probably end up using just a piece of galvanized screen. Unless somebody, less concerned citizen is here and has a better idea. I think I have some galvanized screen, window screen. Okay, so I need some galvanized screen. I'm going to put these, I'm going to have to make a shroud that comes around here and goes this way. Okay, I'm going to get a piece of sheet metal, and then I'm going to show you what an anvil is. 200-year-old anvil. Okay, so I'm going to get our tin snips. I have some sheet metal over here that will work just fine. I'll worry about the screen later. I have sheet metal right here. I'll cut a piece of that off of there, and I'll make the shroud out of that. Well, I'll bring the metal over to the workstation. I'll be back in a minute. I need to get a pair of sheet metal snips, tin snips. All right, well, I won't have the high heat resistant graphite asbestos sealant metal, piece that was there. But I did find screen for the spark arrestor. Just regular galvanized window screen. This could even be stainless steel. It's never rusted. Not that it matters. And I'm going to use for the gasket material, I'll use two-part epoxy, inside and outside of the metal that I make. And I have a little pair of tin snips to get this job going here. I need 4 inches, 5/6 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4. I'll just cut it right here. 6 by 4, 6 by 4. You could cut it right here. Okay, so we got a piece of this. Get rid of this thing. I'll turn the camera around and then I'll open up the anvil in a minute. Huh. Huh. Okay, let me get the duck bills and a pair of lineman's pliers. And then I'll get this little flat, quasi-flat maybe. This is a pretty thick gauge of metal as roofing goes in the Philippines. This is probably 50% thicker than most roofs are made in today's world. This metal came off a roof that was about 25 years old. Okay, get this open. These are aviation duckbills. Should do the job. It won't get it flat, but once I bust out that anvil, then you'll understand the value of a good anvil. I'll get this whole thing straight off, open, so in case I need more for something else, I'll put it in my epoxy box. Okay, that's close enough. I'll flatten out this whole piece. Okay, I'm gonna show you the anvil, and I'm gonna open. That's the anvil underneath the cloth there. There's my metal going over there. Next. So this is what we're starting out with, a piece of bent up metal, and should take less than a minute. Okay, we'll leave the anvil exposed because I have to put lines on this metal and then make edges and ridges. I also have to make the measurements for the actual piece itself. So this is a nice, well, it's flat. It'll be flat when I'm done with it, but it arced because that's just the way. Actually, if I told you why it arced, you wouldn't believe me. But when you bang it like that, this side of the metal expands more than this side, so it wants to curve. That's the truth. Okay, I'm going to make everything bigger than what I need it to be. A little bit bigger. And I'm doing everything by eye because this is not, it's not a true form to fit piece of metal. We're not making it to fit anything. We're just making it. So I want to bend it. I want to bend a 90-degree on it. Right about here. Okay, I am gonna put a mark on that with a pencil or a magic marker. Or not a scribe, because I don't want, if you put a mark on it with a scribe, it's gonna vibrate. And every time it vibrates, it's gonna want to break a little bit. So you know what I'll do? I'll just take this piece of tape here and I'll use this for a guide. So if I make it the width of the tape, exactly the width of the tape, plus 1/8 of an inch. Then it will be exactly bent in the right place. Yep. And if it's a little big, which it might be, I'll trim this side off that's on the other side of the tape. But right now, I'm assured that I'm going to go back into this shroud deep enough. Now I have pliers that you can put on here, sheet metal pliers. They're 6 inches wide. I could put it on there and bend that whole piece. But I really don't feel like going to get them. It'd probably take another 5 minutes. So I'm going to go bring this over to the anvil now. And I'll form fit it to a 90. Okay. That's very nice. Okay, now I have to cut the height. Now I have this marked off where the shroud was. Because inside here are the bolts that hold the muffler to the machine. They won't come out. I could probably get them out, but to get them out would be 2 hours plus, and I don't have to take it off because the inside of this muffler is fine. It's just the outside shroud that was monkeyed up a little bit. So if I put this here like this, and I cut this here, I'm going to make 2 cuts. I'm going to cut it a light cut, and then I'll make a finished cut. That's my light cut. Actually, I like that. Okay, so I actually like that. Now this is not supposed to touch the muffler on this side, and it doesn't. It's about an 3/16 of an inch away from here. This way it lets it breathe air up. Now the next thing I have to do is get a hole in here for the muffler itself. So I'm going to trim off all the corners so they're not little razor blades. I'm just going to put the ever smallest little cut on the corner so it's not a 90-degree. Oh, you guys are facing the wrong way. Turn around. About face. So anyway, I have this like this, and I just cut off these little corners here so they wouldn't be razor sharp edges. Now I have to make a template for this hole, for the holes in this shroud, which gives me almost enough room to put a finger in on this side here. I'm not sure if I want that much space. I'm probably going to take off, I'm going to take off 1/8 of an inch off of this and bring the shroud in closer to the engine. Then I'll make my pattern. I'll use the tape. I'll use the tape for a guideline. So I'm cutting off 3/16 of an inch. Then I'll run my pattern for the muffler. I like that better. So now I have to run my pattern for the muffler with the holes. So for this, I'm going to need an awl. And here is my sheet metal awl. And this one has a tang that goes right through the top of the wooden handle. So you can bang on this so you can make holes. It's a sheet metal awl. It's for sheet metal. So I'm going to make my first hole momentarily. And then I'm going to go get the drill and the bits. So this looks like it goes right there. This is like a perfect Once I get the first screw in there, punch this hole through here. Okay, I'm going to go get a drill bit now. I'm going to go get a 1/8 drill bit. I need something to back up the oil. Okay, I'm going to go get a drill and the bits. Be right back. Okay, I have a small set of bits. All right, now I have to get the right bolts for that. Okay, those are the right bolts. So if I use this bit, will those bolts go through this hole? I think they will. And they do. Okay. So the bolts go through the hole. So I'll make my first hole. Through here. I might even incorporate the smallest drill bit I have, which is a number 60. I might incorporate that as the as what would be a screen. I'm not sure. Or I might just punch a hole through it and make a screen. Put a piece of screen in there. Concerned citizen, are you there? What are you thinking here? Okay, now, no concerned citizen. Okay, so this like this is a good thing. We take this, put it here, like this. Put the screw through there as a lock, as a guide, as a template. Let me show you how to do this. There was no way to hold the screw in there because there's no hole in the wood. So put a hole in the wood and then it acts like guide pins. Put a hole in the wood, put a screw in there. Get another screw. Put a hole in the wood. Put the other guide, the secondary guide pin in there. 2 screws, 2 holes. Now come back and get your last 2 holes here. Mark them. And drill them. Right. There's a knot there, which is okay. Now I'm going to take this drill bit, put it back into the drill bit box. Now, do I make a screen out of this metal with a number 60 drill bit? So I'm scribing the metal. Actually, I'm scribing the tape, which is on the metal to make the round hole in the in this. Now, I could put a bunch of number 60 holes in there. I don't see why that wouldn't work. Or I could just punch a bunch of holes in it with this awl if it was a little sharper. So I'm going to go inside and sharpen this up, and then I'm just going to punch holes through this metal with the awl and forget about the screen. Modification. Oh, that's the finished product there. Where I'm gonna use this metal as the screen itself. I'm gonna bypass the screen. If it doesn't run the way I want it to, I think this is enough ventilation. I think that's enough. And if it's not, I'll open up the holes. We'll find out. We'll find out when I start it up, yeah? We don't need the tape on there anymore. It'll just melt off anyway. That guy from the water department still hasn't come. He was supposed to be here right after lunch. And it's way after 1 o'clock now. I really want to make a few of these bigger. Not much. Well, I'm going to live with that. Okay. The next thing I got to do is I don't even know that I need epoxy on here. I don't think I do, actually. I think if I get that flat and deburr everything, I think it'll sit flush enough when I tighten up the screws. So that's what we're going for. We're not going to put epoxy on that. If it does turn out to be flush when I tighten up the screws, then I won't need epoxy. If there's a space and the plastic melts a little bit, then I'll have to pull it apart and put epoxy in there. That's it. We're good. think we're good. What I could do, I could take that number 60 drill bit and ream out a couple of those holes. This is a 0.62. I'll go 0.78. So almost as small as you can get in the drill. It's almost a jeweler's, almost a jeweler's Hey, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Thanks for stopping by. If any of you people out there have a coal stove, if you're from England or Great Britain or North America where you use a coal stove, Dennis has a few hundred videos how to be most efficient, how to burn coal the most efficiently. And Dennis, if you'd like to put the link for your channel up there, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, so there's the shroud. Now I'm going to put the second part of the muffler. See how I have that facing up, that arrow? So it's not hard to figure out, in case you forget. And then this is the third piece of metal. So there are these. This is the inner. It's a deflector. The deflector heat downward. And this one is the deflector heat outward. So it changes direction twice coming out of the muffler. So I'm not going to use epoxy. I think the flat metal on there with these bolts that have lock washers, I think that'll be enough. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to get the first one in the hole just to hold it up in place. If I brought out my small Phillips head screwdriver, I am. I did. This is a number 1 tip. Okay, this is a number 1 tip. A number 2 will not fit. I don't know. I wasn't the most accurate with the holes drilling, so this part might be. It may work and it may not. Okay, we got that one in. Now we got to go for the gusto. Inside here, there's one. Okay, that was lined up right. And the last one, always the last one is the problem, right? Not exactly. Went right in. Well, yeah, it did. It went right in. Huh. Let's see how right in it went. Yeah, it's just little friction from rust and that's it. Other than that, it went in. Two more turns should be it. One, that's it right there. That the hard turning this thing in there is hard because over the 2 years that this was apart, inside the female part of the threads got a little rusty. So I might have to take that screw out and put it back in to knock the rust off the threads. And I'll probably just do that right away. Now I'm going to set this last screw snug, and then I'm going to tap the metal on the outside of the screw to take the space out, even though it's only 10 thousandths, 12 thousandths, 5 thousandths of an inch. There is a space because none of this metal, the new metal, is not exactly 100% flat, and there's no give in the new metal. There's no asbestos graphite sponge. So the thing that you need to do that with is anything that you can get to go around the outside. Screwdriver will work just fine. And I can actually feel that it pushed it down a thousandth or 2 thousandths in some places. See the screw that was tight? I got another 1/8 of a turn on that screw. This one was tight. I got another 1/4 turn on that. This one was tight. I got another whole turn on that one. And this one was tight, and it looks like I'm going to get a turn on that one too. So by pushing the screwdriver down around the outside, I actually removed what is called, you could call it an oil can effect, like a bubble in the metal. That's what I would call it, but it was slack. Okay, and there's my $30 or $40 worth of parts that I didn't have to buy. So, now I believe it'll start up. Not yet. I got to put the carburetor on it. I have to put a fuel sensor in it. And then, but now I have this shroud. See the space in here? It's not touching the metal. About 1/8 of an inch. And it's going to be on the outside. It's going to be, well, I can bend this out if I want. But it's going to be a 1/2 inch away from the plastic. I'd rather have it closer to the metal than the plastic. So the next thing I got to do is spin this machine around a little bit. Hold on. Let me, bunch of stuff in the way here. Okay. Oh, there's gas in there. Not much. I'll dump that out. Okay, so I have the carburetor. Whenever you take a carburetor off, you really need to cover up the hole. Oh, I covered it up with masking tape. Surgical masking tape, that is. Now, there's this piece here. This is some kind of sensor. I have no idea what that is really for. It's some sort of a sensor. Inside it moves around. I'm going to put that back in there like that. I really don't know what that sensor is for. A heat diffuser. Okay? It's a heat diffuser. Thanks, Mickey. Okay, the next thing is my carburetor. So here is my carburetor, but I have a problem with this ball here. I have other tools I could take the ball off of, but what I'm going to end up doing is you can't start it up with the ball broken. I might be able to start it up with no ball at all. No ball at all. The funny thing is, it's not funny at all. But I have another carburetor primer ball in a bag for this machine somewhere. But for now, I don't know where it is. If I thought I knew where it was, I'd go look for it, but I don't have a clue. It's not something I moved in the last 10 years, 9 years. Definitely haven't moved it. I bought it back in 2010 or 9 as an extra for this machine. And I used to tape it on to part of the machine. I used to just put it on with some surgical masking tape or something like that, but I didn't in this case. I probably put it in a parts box. And the parts box probably came to America, to New York, in one box and not in cargo. And it didn't come in cargo container 1. Probably came in cargo container 2, and it's in a box, in a bag, in a box. In a box. I don't have that. I'm going to put a piece of cellophane over this, unless somebody has a better idea. And I'll get it started by putting gas in the piston. In the spark plug. Man, I don't like taking this apart like this, but I'm taking the whole chassis of the carburetor apart by doing this. I could go look in one of my boxes. I have other balls on other tools, but they're in cargo container 2, and they're in the back of the cargo container 2. It would take 2 hours of emptying equipment out of there. It'd be faster to go to the city and come back with one. But for right now, I'm going to get a piece of cellophane, just regular, strong, industrial grade black cellophane, or I'm going to come back out with a ball. So I'll be back in about 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, the only one box I have with parts, it's not in that box. If it's not in that box in that container, it's in cargo too. And that's not going to happen. Okay. All right. This is nothing more than a trash bag. Where is the alt? Where is the alt? This don't make any sense. It only goes on one way. This doesn't make sense. Why it won't fit. I can make it fit with a grinder, but I just took it apart, so I shouldn't have to do that. Huh. Won't go. Ain't that something? It did come apart that way. Oh, wait. 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 No, it's backwards. I have scratch marks on it. It goes 180 degrees in reverse. See the scratch marks right there? See the scratch marks on this side over here? I have it opposite. I didn't see those before. For a lousy 30-cent fuel button, I have to go through all this work. Here we go. And the water guy didn't come from the water company yet. It's probably after 3 o'clock. Oh, these guys are a trip, man. I want to put this away so I don't lose it. Now, next step. There's a throttle cable. There's a throttle cable. I could probably start putting some of this stuff away. Put the tools back in the tool tray in case it starts raining. Well, that should hold water. Gas. Okay. Now, this cable goes through what? Through the housing. Does the housing go next or last? It's got to go through the housing first. How does the carburetor mount? I should have 2 long bolts. But it should also go through this. But not this. Okay. I'm going to have to put you here like that. Huh. Oh boy. shrunken. Unless it goes like this. That's possible. It's just an overflow. Yeah, okay, that's right. Actually, that's the right way. Because the cable is going to come in from this side here and go through. Cable is going to come through here. Where is it going? Not on the bottom. Right there. It's going right there. Okay. Okay. That's good like that. That's good like this. Okay, that's like that. That's like that. It's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. That won't fit like that either. That's totally right. After I get the throttle cable. Coco, 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 Coco. Two more times. Coco. One more time. Coco. That's it. 7 times. They Coco 7 times. That's it. They never Coco 8 times. Go figure. Not one of them. Never met one that Cocoed 8 times. Never met a gecko, a demon lizard that Cocoed 8 times. Not yet, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this off. Put this on first. The cable lock. Bring it back here like that. See the way the cable is moving? Right here. I don't like the way it's moving. It should be bent a little bit differently, but for now I'm going to leave it. And that will also that is also the idle adjustment. But for now, we're not worried about idle. Okay, let's get that brush. Let's put this in here where it belongs. Let's put this hose up here where it belongs. Okay, let's pull those nuts out of there, bolts out of there. Let's put the two bolts in here. See if we can get one started. The other will go. Okay, we got one. We got two. Now, the reason I had to put this part of the machine back together is because this is the choke. And being that I'm going to flood the engine by putting gasoline in the spark plug, I'm going to need this choke. You don't actually need that primer ball. All that primer ball does is get the engine to turn over to where the Venturi principle takes over the carburation and the atomization of the fuel. So you don't need that piece. Most carburetors don't have them. That's why I eliminated it, and I still think it'll work. Everybody knows this. Okay, here's the choke. Choke on, off, on, off. That works. Put that tool back in that box. How much fuel is in this gas tank? It's been in there for 2 years. I really don't need to run that through the machine, but I don't need to throw it out either. I could mix it in with the 2 gallons of mixed fuel I have, and there's still octane in there, so it still should run on its own with that fuel. Probably the octane is low, so I'm going to mix it in with the good fuel, which is about 1.5 gallons of fuel, and mix in about 4 ounces of the bad fuel in with that, and I shouldn't have a problem starting it up at that point. My biggest problem is just to prime make sure that I prime the spark plug. It should start right up. Now there's a couple of questionables in there. One questionable is the exhaust that I put on there may not have enough opening in it, but it should still run. That should happen. So let me get some of the tools back where they belong. And the water company guy still did not come. You guys are coming in the house with me. Oh, you'll listen to the conversation. I got to get water. I haven't had water on my property in, I think it's going on 10 days. And I've been calling up for 10 days. But 4 of those days, 6 of those days, no one answers the phone. Even the number that the guy answered the phone on this morning wasn't answering the phone. You have to call him like 20 times, or call him once and get lucky. Living in the Philippines, baby. You have no idea what it's like living here. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a little break too. Get some water. No, I'm not getting water. Yeah. Oh. Oh. No, I'm not. I don't have any water. The water is outside. Okay. I have about 2 ounces. Okay. I need to sit down and take some ibuprofen. I need to call up the water department. How many times can you listen to a man say, the man is coming, he'll be there in an hour, he'll be there this morning, tomorrow morning he'll be there in the afternoon? How many times must I ask him to send somebody and him make a promise that the guy is coming? And then again this morning the man said, are you sure he didn't come? Well, I've been sitting here all morning. What did he do? Stand over by the corner and look around and look for me? He doesn't know what I look like. And then leave because he didn't see me? That's what you get here in the Philippines. That guy could have come, looked around like this, and then left because he didn't see anybody. Like you're supposed to be outside in front of the house waiting for him. It's possible that they think like that too, because Flywood said he's had deliveries where they just come and stand in front of the house and look around, and if they don't see anybody, they leave. They leave a message. We tried to deliver your package, but no one was home. And they're all extremely nice. Every one of them are perfect gentlemen when they tell you that the man will be there in an hour and doesn't show up. Sir, are you sure he didn't come? Sir, are you positive that you were home? Sir, you live where? Next to the Stanley House? Next to the Stanley House? Were you home, sir? I mean, they'll ask like 3 times. Yeah, I was home. Are you sure you were home all day, sir? Yeah, I was home all day. So now it's, what time is it? I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's a trip living here. It's just a trip. It's 3 o'clock. Right after lunch is like 1:05, right? From Malona Beach to here is 14 minutes, so he should have been here by 20 after 1. He's not here, though. At the next ring, it'll go to the busy signal. Went to the busy signal. And he knows I'm calling. He knows who's. He has me in caller ID. He put my name. Well, he knew who I was this morning. So if he didn't put me in the caller ID, he just remembers the number, the guy in Pang Lao. Oh man, am I thirsty. And the water's all the way in the back. Oh, I just have to wait. Well, I'll try one more time. Now, he knows when he sees the number. Now, should I have to really ask him again? Probably not. He's going to see the number and say, oh, that guy needs water. 10 days, he doesn't. You had to see the problem I had this morning with the rebar bending company. The new rebar bender that I was going to buy was 115,000 pesos listed. I went to buy it, and it gives you instructions. I pushed buy now, and it said, before you continue with this purchase, get in touch with the seller. So I did. And the seller changed the price from 115 pesos, 115,000 pesos yesterday, to 130 this morning. And 10,000 pesos for the delivery could be 28,000 pesos for the delivery, plus or minus. Depends on the shipper. So in other words, I don't know what that means. Ninja has offices in Manila and Bohol. And I said, well, Ninja has offices in Manila and Bohol. Yes, sir, but that's if Ninja is available. And I said, well, why wouldn't they be available? It's not like you have, it's not like every business in the world is buying every machine in the world and everything has to get delivered tomorrow. It could take a week, 10 days. It's okay. Yes, sir. We'll find that information out for you, sir, and send it to you in an email. So I'll go to my email now, and it might be there, but I wouldn't bet on it. Don't hold your breath. Oh, I see mail. But I don't see mail from her. Now his phone is busy. Okay. You know what? I'll try one more time. And then I'll go get the gasoline and the funnel, or no funnel, and I'll dump that bad gas. Okay, he's not going to answer the phone. So So I've made 50 phone calls, spoken with the man 8 or 10 times. I've made 50 phone calls in the last 7 days, and I still don't have my water fixed. And this is what people say, oh, stop complaining. What else can you do? What else can you do? Why do you have to make 50 phone calls to the manager of the water department so he can promise you he'll have a man there in a few hours, and for 7 days he doesn't fulfill his promise? So what are you supposed to? Oh, well, thank you very much for not showing up when you promised you would show up. Thank you for making me make 7 more phone calls after almost at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because you were supposed to be here at 1:15. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got to get the gas. Be right back. Huh. Oh, yeah, that's wonderful that you didn't show up. I love that you didn't show up when you promised. Now, he may or may not show up. But if he doesn't show up, I got to go buy another bottle of water, which is not, not problematic. But then I have to carry it over here and take a bath out of a 5-gallon bucket, 5-gallon bottle of water. Why? Why? What difference does it really make? How much gas is in there to begin with? A lot. A lot. Okay, I need a container. I'll be right back. It's got a half a tank, quarter of a tank in there. 3/8 of a tank. I'll be right back. Oh boy. Okay. Oh. 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 Oh, that stuff is garbage. Huh, that's garbage. Not a big enough container. Huh. I don't know what the heck is inside there that made it brown. That's a mystery. Ugh. There wasn't even an extra ounce. I went through all that work for half an ounce of fluid. Huh. All right. Yeah, this stuff is brown. Still got octane in it, but I never saw. It's almost as if it has rust in there. No. We'll use it for parts cleaning only. And that we'll call that a success. If I didn't lose the cap. There's the cap right here. Okay, so this is got to go inside for cleaning gas. That's okay. This is it's a rag. This is a different kind of rag. Second tertiary rag for a primary rag. Huh. 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 That's strange. I've been away from equipment for so long, I forgot what would make that turn black other than rust. And there can't be rust in that container. In that it's a closed system, and the cap was on for 2 years. Maybe it was the red oil turned brown after it got old. I don't know. The red 2-cycle oil, or maybe it was brown 2-cycle oil, but usually it's red. I don't remember. What I do remember is that guy said the plumber would be here right after lunch. He was in Alona Beach. That's 20 minutes away. So now he's an hour and a half late. Okay, I'm gonna get this out a little faster by opening up the vent on the back of the can. Okay, we're 3/4 full. I'll live with that. I should tell you guys about my date for Sunday. Maybe I'll tell you tomorrow about that. Uh-oh. Genius. Genius at work. I forgot to get my straw to put the gas in the plug. Oh. What did I just do? Oh, okay. Thought I blew my straw. Oh. Let's check for spark. Oh boy. I don't really care about that so much. Got spark. Not much. Oh yeah, it's got spark. Alright. Got spark. It's got compression. There are three things an engine needs to run. Spark, compression, and fuel. That's all it needs. It'll either run or it won't run at that point. And the reason why it wouldn't run if it had all those three things is a hung up valve. Possibly a hung up valve. Okay. The only way to start this is to put it on the floor and pull it. Well, you can, if I was stronger, I could pull it from this angle, but I'm not stronger. I'm weaker. I'm weaker than I used to be. And I'm tired. So let's get something on the floor so I don't get dirt on the bottom of the saw. Okay. Got that. Ow, 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 ow. Huh. Okay. Run. And you got to hold the trigger on. You have to hold the throttle on when you pull it. Otherwise it won't start. Might not start anyway. Hey. surprised me too. Absolutely surprised me, considering I did 2 modifications that are not normal. Here it goes. Huh? Well, we know it should start. Did start. I should have kept it running. Well, what was the one thing we did before? We put gas in the plug, right? It's getting plenty of gas. Could be fouled out. does. Runs pretty good. I'm gonna. Hey, LaRue. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it runs pretty good. Actually, I know, I can tell by the sound I'm not getting full power. And probably that lack of full power is because I made, instead of replacing the screen with the proper size mesh, I made a resistance through the piece of sheet metal. And probably the amount of back pressure from that resistance that I made, it might be too much back pressure. Which before, when the screen was clogged and rusted solid, it was so much back pressure it would only idle. But now it's getting about 3/4 power. But this freaking saw is powerful. I mean, this machine, it will, maybe not now, but if I was getting full power, if you put a red brick on an asphalt road in New York, you could blow the brick 2 or 3 feet away from the end of the blower. The brick would be moving. You can move a cubic yard of sand from one place to another out of the way in about 15 minutes without a shovel. And there's a lot of things you could do with the blower that I want to do. You can blow water out from places that you can't blow with the little blower. I'm gonna put the air filter back on there, and when I get the filter on, I'll show you how powerful the blower itself is. Can't do it there. right back. I want to go get my heat gun. So the temperature of the muffler is 283 degrees, but the temperature of the shroud I put around the outside of the muffler is 183. So it's 100 degrees less temperature, and that is the difference between melting the plastic and not melting the plastic. And the temperature of the piston is 217 degrees. The piston core head. So, thanks, LaRue. So there is it does deflect 100 degrees of temperature. That's a good thing. And I called up the plumber and he still don't answer the phone. Really nothing to blow back here. I don't want to blow underneath the table because it's just going to blow dirt into my parts. We'll blow, maybe I'll blow this cardboard out of here. Yeah, I'll blow that cardboard off the ground now. See those rocks? Okay, well, that was probably, after it warmed up, I'm probably getting 3/8 power. And I noticed the drop in power when I put the air filter in there. So the air filter, as clean as it looks, may very well be not letting it breathe properly. So I could take the air filter off and see what happens. I could do that. No dust now. Can't operate it without an air filter though. But I can make another air filter that's only half as half the blockage. I can do that. I could make it out of a piece of cloth. As long as no foreign objects go into the carburetor, it would work just fine. Should have took the air filter off while it was running, yeah? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it's not getting enough gas. Or maybe it's getting too much gas. Flood it out. Oh, that's what happened before. It was flooded before. There's no doubt about that. And when I took the blower and put it in, should have took the air filter off while it was running. That's my mistake. But also, we know that it's problematic restarting, so gonna have to get that fixed no matter. Can't do this. Can't clean out the spark plug every time I want to start the engine. Definitely can't clean the plug every time I want to start it. But did get it running. I think if it doesn't start right up, I'm just going to put the shroud on it. There's I couldn't find a carburetor adjustment. There got to be a fuel rich, fuel lean adjustment on the carburetor. There got to be one. I didn't see it. I didn't look for it, and I didn't see it. If I would have looked for it, then I would have saw it, if there was one. But I didn't look for it, so I don't know if there is one. But there should be. Not on that side. And there's nothing over here. The only adjustment was the idle adjustment. There's one other possibility that it never did get full power, got like 3/4 power. The other possibility is the jet in the carburetor is probably might have some varnish in the jet, or what they call varnish. And it's possible that is the problem. We'll try it 2 or 3 more pulls, and tomorrow's another day. One of the hoses fell out of the gas tank. That's a back pressure hose. Maybe that had something to do with it. It has to do with pumping gas into the diaphragm of the carburetor itself. Okay, that could be the problem. To be honest, this machine is so powerful that if it never gets more than half power, it'd be enough to do anything I'll ever want to do with it. This filter's brand new, but even still, it definitely slows the air intake down. That's a brand new filter. Oh, I gotta get bottled water. Hold on a minute. This is important. If I don't have bottled water, I can't take a bath tonight. Believe this crap? Huh. Hard to believe. Okay. All right. Okay. Amigo.
Amigo.
Oh, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Oh, Pat.
Okay. Here we go. Pat, come on. Oh.
What? Maybe. Oh. 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 What?
เอาปัดปัด
Oh, pot.
ปัดกระบอกเอาAsal ka Boss Anton? Ah, di ready Boss Anton?
Where's one in the back? One right there. Yo, 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 yo. You, Polly Home. You in the back, over there. And you, Polly Home, over here, please. Right there? Yeah. Salamat.
Where's
Right there, on the floor. Now, now. Okay, that's empty. Yeah, empty. Okay, so that's a pot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a pot empty,
Yeah.
and you bring back the hot more, yeah? Okay, polyhold, you put that one in the back. Polyhold, you put that one next to that one over there, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, very nice.
Thank you.
Now, okay, this is the snacker. 80 pesos, yeah?
Yeah.
There's 90 and the candy. Okay?
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, umping. Thank you. Give him his candy. Don't put, he was going to put the candy in his pocket. Yeah, he was going to steal the candy.
We have cheese.
Yeah, he's a candy thief. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, amigos.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? You know what? Give me one more. I can take one more.
More water.
One more.
One more.
You put it in. You put it in the back. I have one more pail.
Gallon. You have 1 gallon?
In the back. In the back.
Right here, here.
In the back.
Here.
Anywhere you like. It's okay. That's
I
the.
like here. Here.
That's okay. Very well. Let me give you more money. Hold on. Okay. Here's for the other bottle.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All righty. The plumber probably ain't coming, yeah? You figured that out all on your own, did you? Okay, so So, well, now I can take a bath. I was worried about that. Because then otherwise I have to go next door to the Stanley house. And then they only charge me 10 pesos more per bucket. But I have to go get it. And the last thing I need to do at the end of the day is to carry 40 plus pounds another 100 feet. I mean, I can do that. That's not a problem. But it's not like on top of everything else that I do during the course of the day. I would prefer to actually not carry an extra 45 pounds 100 feet. A little bit more than 100 feet, actually. So, where are we at with this? We're going to put the shroud on, and we're going to run out of power in the shroud can go back on. There's nothing to prevent that from happening. Nothing at all. So we can put this wood, back to the table. Okay. We can put this tray over here. Then we're going to put the machine up on the table. We're going to take the screws out of here. And we're going to put the machine back up on top of the table. I'll just move these two things out of the way. These three things. These four things out of the way. So I have room for the machine. Okay, the machine goes back up. We know the machine runs even if I only get 3/8 or half power out of the machine. I was only getting 1/8 power out of the machine when it was running last time, and it was melting the shroud. It was melting this plastic shroud. So now it's not going to melt the plastic shroud. Not at all. I can't see how it goes just yet. I will be able to see in a moment. I'm going to blow it off a little bit to cool it down. There are still parts of it that are too hot to touch. So I'm very happy with what I got done today, and I'll be happy if I get half power out of this machine. And if it's because there's too much back pressure from the piece I made, in a few weeks, a few hundred hours after I use, the holes are going to open up, because they're just going to open up just a small percentage, but they will open up. I'll be happy about that as well. So let me get this shroud back on. Oh, I want to check the comments. Gotta take the plug out. Put the plug back in for a positive lock on the top. I'm going to take the vice grips lock the plug down, not solid, because sometimes the plug, if you forget to torque it in there a little bit, it pops out when you're running the machine. Well, doesn't do much harm, not a lot of pressure, but it could pop off the last thread, and you don't want to do that. All right, I'll show you how this works with the wire that I built, the wire cage, because again, I couldn't find parts for this, so I had to use baling wire, galvanized baling wire. So these are star drill bits, star tips, and I put the star tips over there, didn't I? I did. And what did I do with the star tips? I think this is the star tip I need. I'm going to turn this around. It is. Okay, so I'll show you how I used baling wire and saved myself about $60 for this part. So this is a high grade, high tensile strength galvanized baling wire. It's commercial grade for really doing a commercial high grade baling wire job. That's one there. I'll put the second one up on top. That's two. I'm not sure if that's the one that goes there. And I have a tough one to get on right now on the back end here, which I'm going to have to go get the socket set with the 6-inch, 1/4-inch drive extension. So I'm going to go get the socket set, and I'm going to put some tools away when I go into the container. Never make an empty, never walk up a ladder, down a ladder, or across the yard. If there's something to move, at least bring it closer to where it's going to end up at the end of the day. Good habit to get into. Okay, so I have one that's tough to get. I'm going to get the tough one first. You're not going to be able to see it. No matter what I did, no matter what I do, you'll never see the place that one goes to. So I won't even bother trying to show it to you. And it's started into the hole. Okay. That's one. That's two. That's three. Now there's a fourth one, and I have no idea where that is. Okay, I see it now. Uh-oh. Is there another washer? No. That's because that wire is a tight squeeze. Okay. That wire has a tight loop on it. I don't need a washer. Oh, I forgot to read the comments. Sorry about that. I'm done out here anyway. It's time for me to rest. Okay. Let me just move this off the table. I want to put some of my my tools that belong in my tool bucket in the tool bucket. And this hose fell out again. I'm going to have to tie that down. Maybe that was why I was only getting 1/4 power. This hose here has come out like it's been out every time I looked at it. So that does have to do with some back pressure, and the vibration is just popping it out. So that might be the reason it's not running. I'm only if I get half power out of this machine, it's more powerful than most of the commercial blowers that you would buy today anyway. This is a blower that is specifically designed to do commercial parking lots, like Home Depot parking lots, stuff like that. Big jobs, not your backyard blower. But I use it for big jobs, to move sand, to move rocks, to spread P-rock. All right, well, I didn't check the comments. I lied again. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's check the comments. I'll sit down. I'll sit down for a minute. I'm okay to sit down now because no comments. Okay. Whew. I need water. Where's my water? Okay. I can put. All right. Need that brush in there, that's for sure. And I do keep an awl in there. So let's put the screwdriver over here, put the awl there. Okay, the magnifying glass goes into the house with the tape and the button, the primer button. This piece here, some kind of spacer that goes between the shroud and the machine, but it's not in there. So if I ever take it apart again, I'll put it in next time if I remember. If I don't remember, then I won't put it in. Okay, so that piece of wire, I need a piece of wire that I dropped on the floor before. Okay. Okay, that wire is for the just sheet metal. Okay, I got 2 more pieces of that, right? I do. Okay, this can go into cargo 2, cargo 1. The drill bits go in cargo 1. The snare brush goes in cargo 1. The toothbrush goes in my bucket. The plumber's brush, I have one in there, goes inside. The straw goes inside. The goop goes inside. This goes here. This goes into the cargo 2. This stuff is garbage. I don't even want this stuff laying around. It's like a razor blade sharp. Gone. Gone it is. Okay, that's garbage. This goes in cargo 1. That goes in cargo 1. Get the dust out of here. Goes in cargo 1. This goes in for the power tool, chainsaws, and street saw tools. This is an empty container that had that dirty gas in there. I don't want to put it in with the tape, but I can put it in here like that. The snippers go, we can put the snippers in here. They don't go in here though. But they go in cargo 1. The broom, I don't care about the broom. And the blower. Where does the blower? The little blower. Okay. Now the flashlight. I can go, that's going in the house. And that's it. I need to put this stuff away and take a bath. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit by while I still have about a minute of power left. So thanks for watching. This is Michael Fazio in the Philippines. The screen just went dark, which means I either have 4 minutes or 4 seconds left. So I'm being Permy from the Philippines, which means take care always. Mickey Mason, thank you for the heads up on your helpful hints. And LaRue, thank you for stopping by. And whoever else was out there voyeurism, watching how to do mechanical work in a systematic fashion. It may not look systematic because I had to keep going in and out for tools, but I don't have an outside shop. I have an inside shop. And the inside shop is too hot in there to work. So I let you guys look at the outside shop. So thanks for watching. And I'm being Permy from the Philippines. And bye-bye for now. I'm going to take myself a nice, fresh 30 peso bath because the plumber didn't show up today, which I didn't think he was going to do that anyway. I'm being Permy from the Philippines, baby.